It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. The story coming in from Mesa is one of those that just makes you shake your head. Right when you say, I think I've heard everything, how about this? We have a man, a guy in his 30s, who's been arrested as part of a heist plot with his 10-year-old son. What we are learning about this wild story, and by the way, the whole concept here was to hit up one of the most well-known locations in all of Mesa. Wait till you hear this one. It's coming right up. So also today on FTT, why was that Tucson police recruit killed? It is a question certainly on the minds of everybody down in the old Pueblo, but even up here in the Phoenix metro area, a lot of questions about what actually happened. We're learning some new details. That's coming your way as well. We have Celeste, Kinsey Schofield herself. Now, you know, she used to be, back when this was the earliest streaming iteration, before Fox 10 Talks ever happened, we had Kinsey and Samia. And we had a great time with them. Well, Kinsey, of course, has gone on to international fame, I guess you might say,
yes,
as a royal commentator. She's actually met King Charles, and she's going to give us the latest on Meghan and Harry and their expedition. Sounds like they're moving thousands of miles away. They're going to go across the pond. Plus,
you think U-Haul's going to help them run?
Well, I think they could only get them as far as like Newfoundland.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'd have to catch a ship or a plane.
That's true.
And then flying taxis by 2028. Yeah, there's one city that is seriously making moves finally to get this whole concept off the ground, so to speak, Celeste. And we're going to be talking about that coming up as well. So anyway, thanks for starting your morning with us. We just heard about some breaking news.
Yeah, I believe so. And let's go right to Dave. He's got the latest on this. Good morning, Big D.
That's right, guys. This is from the Buckeye Police Department. Great Hearts Academy has been evacuated as Buckeye Police investigate a bomb threat. Officers are currently working to sweep the campus, ensure there's no threat. Parents are advised to check their school communications about a reunification site to pick up their kids. We'll stay on top of this.
Okay, Dave, thanks very much. These things come in and they disrupt an entire school day.
They really do.
And I feel like it's our duty to do the follow-up story, whether it's a day from now or a week from now or a month from now when they arrest whoever put the hoax out there.
Yes.
Because it happens over and over again. Sometimes there's a tie to a school. Sometimes there's not. But it just needs to quit happening.
Well, and it's unfortunate because it doesn't just disrupt the school day, but I think it, as a parent of a school-age child, you get very nervous.
Right.
It causes alarm. Next thing you know, the parents are getting text messages from the school system.
Yeah, here's the system for how you're gonna get reunited with your children. You're in the middle of your busy day. Somebody, we don't know if it's online or made a phone call or whatever, but it's disgusting.
There was I believe it was either last year or the year before, my oldest daughter had a bomb threat at her school.
Oh, is that right?
At her high school, and SWAT team members stormed the classroom.
Well, they have to take every one of them seriously.
And they really do, but it's so frightening for teenagers to think we live in an age where that happens.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to what happened out in Mesa. Celeste, I couldn't help myself. We're in the news studio earlier this morning, and I said to both Anita and Des, just when you think you've heard everything, police say this guy, Gene Zintz, pulled off a heist in downtown Mesa, and his accomplice, they say, his little 10-year-old son.
Unbelievable.
So he's 31 years old, and the word is that the dad forced open a door at the Mesa Art Museum right there on Main Street in downtown Mesa, and that his son then went to work stealing the jewelry inside. We're talking about over $7,000 worth of loot. This guy, police say, stole a Bluetooth speaker and a piece of a totem pole cactus. Who knows what was going on here? But the thing is, they were both arrested. Zintz booked on 8 charges. By the way, he's from Washington, and they came down here. I don't know if it's specifically to commit the crime or if they have connections to both the Northwest and to Arizona. But amongst all the charges, theft, burglary, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You think so? His son was arrested and booked into juvenile detention because anymore, Celeste, I think people's attitude is if you're going to do the crime,
you got to do the
You're
time.
going to do the time, really kind of no matter what your age is. So, yeah, we'll keep track on that one. Then this other story, Celeste, we keep... oh, by the way, here's a little bit of what Mesa police were saying.
And during the investigation, we found that a 31-year-old male and his 10-year-old son came to the art center. They tried to get through multiple doors. The father ultimately forced open a door to the Mesa Contemporary Art Center. Both the father and son went inside, and the son took several pieces of jewelry. And the amount of the jewelry, the cost is about $7,300. It was two bracelets, a necklace, and a bolo tie. And these were pieces of jewelry, but they were also pieces of artwork that were on display or being set up for display in the museum.
And so who knows why this father and son allegedly targeted the Mesa Art Center. But when it comes to cases, criminal cases, this is one that we're really watching closely out of Tucson. So if you've been following it, there was a fellow named Carlos Ramirez in his 20s, looking forward to a new career in law enforcement when he was killed at his home near Valencia and Camino Verde, if you're at all familiar with Tucson. Boy, they've been in the news for all the wrong reasons this year. He had worked as a corrections officer, and his fiance, who did survive a gunshot wound, said she could hear banging outside their bedroom, and that Ramirez actually alerted her and said there were a couple of guys breaking into the house. So he did not survive. She did survive. But the arrests now, we have learned, Celeste, that both of the men here, Alex Barnett is 33. He's a suspect. First-degree murder warrant was issued for him. He has a lengthy criminal history that corrections records cited by the Arizona Daily Star say that he was only released from prison last year. So again, we're talking about a Tucson police recruit who was basically getting out of the corrections line of work and moving into law enforcement. Now, did they have any connection? It does appear to be targeted, not random. If there is a connection, we don't know yet. But the second suspect, Santiago Rogers, 39, was arrested. He's also being held without bond on first-degree murder charges, and he also had a lengthy criminal record involving weapons, drugs, etc. And he also had a history of being incarcerated. So there are a lot of blanks to fill in, but at least we have some additional details.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a big surprise if it was just random, that if it was happened to be a home invasion. But the fact that he worked in the corrections, if a corrections facility leads you to believe, I wonder if someone had it out for him from the inside, or they were released and then they were like, I'm going to get back at this guy because I know he worked in the corrections system.
It does make you think.
There's a couple of different avenues to go there, but pretty frightening in the fact that one man was killed and the woman who's expecting a child was injured in the hospital.
Yeah, so we'll wait to see how law enforcement handles this investigation.
Yes.
But it's a big one there in Tucson. Celeste, I have to squint because we have a new system here.
Yes.
Are you even able to read these little words?
Well,
right
we're hoping to save some ink, Ron,
is that what it
and
is?
some paper.
Okay. All right.
So this is small fonts. I think it's size 8.
Oh my gosh.
Times New Roman size 8.
Have you seen these pictures? Look at this. So, yes, we're focused, of course, on that big fire up in Nevada. They are making big progress on it. They've gone from 0% to almost 30% in a day. But, Celeste, there are now big evacuations as a fire that started yesterday has exploded in size. It's now at 50,000 acres, and they say it is consuming something to the tune of 30 football fields per minute.
Wow.
with the hot, dry winds that are burning across Texas. So, boy, that is going to be one that we're going to have to keep a real close eye on. And those pictures, man, that just looks
It looks pretty scary. My goodness.
very ominous. That is for sure.
Ron, driving around the West Valley on the Loop 101 near the Cardinals Stadium, there is, it has been in the works since the pandemic, really. It's that big amusement park / hotel. You've got a coaster that runs around on the outside, on the inside.
I think we got the pictures on it here.
Yeah,
look
let's
at that. I can't wait to ride that. We finally have a real big roller coaster park.
This
is one of 2 coasters, I believe. Now, look, I know we got castles and coasters, but
this has a hotel attached to it.
Yeah.
And it has a place where, here's the deal. That's a stage that you see where it says Vi.
I love when you say, here's the deal. You know, Celeste, it kind of makes me melancholy for our former president. Look, here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
But anyway.
So the idea is, I remember when the original builder, we had him live on AZAM, and he said the idea is that all the hotel rooms will have a front row seat to the stage and to the music. They have the stage kind of in the middle of the property, surrounded by the rooms. There it is, right there, that black building kind of, that's the stage.
Such a cool concept.
It really is, but
right?
then it went dormant for so long, and apparently now they have a new owner who's going to work on finishing the project. So now Vi says it's going to announce an opening date, and they're calling this the Mattel Adventure Park, about 9 to 12 months out. And so we're looking at maybe a year out where they'll probably see maybe it's a new place to stay. By the way, Ron, before we go to the break, we got to mention we have a new viewer from Russia.
Oh, yes? Who is it?
Constantine. We want to welcome you to the chat this morning. And we've got viewers from all over the world.
Nice.
All over the country, all over Arizona. And folks are also talking about John Hook retiring, which you're absolutely right. He's going to take on this new venture of working. He's going to try for the PGA, Ron. He loves golf enough.
It's about time. I thought he was going to try to get back into football.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, there's always flag football.
We've
got a preview for you of your mystery camera this morning. Oh,
Oh.
Where are these people
going? Well, they
going?
got a nice airport, that's for sure. We'll be back after a quick break. There you go with your preview of the Mystery Cam. Ladies and gentlemen.
I think folks are dreaming about where you would go on vacay. Where would you go on vacay? Maybe throw it into the chat.
Okay.
Whenever you look at the airport, don't you ever think, oh,
Yeah,
wow, would be, where's
How
that
exciting.
plane going?
How exciting to do the carry-on luggage and walk through the TSA lines. We have the best TSA, I think, probably in the entire USA. The thing about this one, Celeste, is I just don't recognize it. They got a nice tower, but I haven't seen a single plane take off in the 3 or 4 minutes that we've been popping it up. So it's more of a...
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, no, that's a baggage cart guy.
Yeah, we've got a baggage cart guy.
Anyway, think about it and give us your guesses on the Mystery Cam just a little bit later this morning. Okay, so we should talk about this story coming in, Celeste. Once again, I don't know how shocked we should be about the things that come out of Iran, but this, they went on to their the powers that be there control all the media.
Yes.
And they went on the air, I guess, yesterday, saying that there would be a $10 million bounty on the life of Barron Trump, the president's son. And so this story came in, and it's like, what next from Iran, right? So the segment they broadcast on Iranian state television opened with a banner, "Where to kill Barron Trump."
Jeez Louise.
And they said that there was a $10 million bounty placed on his life. The implication is that maybe they have somebody in the country
Already here.
I mean, that's the thing that I think is really worrying a lot of people. But it really is. I heard a commentator today. I'm trying to think who it was. By the way, that's pretty young Barron right now.
Yeah.
He's way taller than Mom and Dad. But this commentator was saying, if they are stupid enough to do that, and they were successful, it would be full-on war.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be no holds barred.
Absolutely.
And so I can't believe it would happen, but just the fact that they actually use their state media to promote that kind of a thing.
It tells you what type of country and leadership the people live under in that part of the world.
I know, right? Well, it was already proven that they killed thousands of their own people for protesting for freedom.
Yes.
All right, let's see what's going on today. There is an interesting report that Iran and Pakistan have restarted their communications. Remember, Pakistan was going to be the go-through between the U.S. and Iran instead of direct talks, and that put the market in a pretty good mood. The price of oil was down about $3 a barrel this morning to around $82 a barrel. And when the price of oil goes down, guess what? Price of stocks go up.
That's right.
And
And guess what happens to gas prices? They stay the same. Unfortunately,
Celeste, I know.
I mean, we need to speak with some of these people who are responsible for changing the numbers on those gas station signs.
Okay.
We got to figure out, if the oil prices drop.
Right.
Prices for folks on Main Street should drop.
That gas station Circle K that's a couple of blocks from our TV studios
Down on
here?
Fillmore?
Yes, right, and 7th Avenue. They went up like 20 cents.
Unbelievable.
What happened that pushed them up to $4.79? The other day they were at $4.59. Nothing really changed.
Unbelievable.
Did it? Yeah, I know it's frustrating. Okay, big question and our poll question for you this morning. By the way, stand by in about a minute. We are live with former Congressman Matt Salmon, but we should be talking about what's going on in New Zealand. It looks like they may very well be the next country to ban social media for anybody under the age of 16. Their prime minister says the goal is to protect children, and the platforms that don't comply, now this is big, could face fines of up to 10% of their global revenue. That would be a lot of money.
It would be a lot of money. I mean, I think Meta just paid millions, in court fees, and to plaintiffs over this stuff, and they're still running great. Like these social media companies, they make a lot of money.
So our poll question is this: if New Zealand does do it, should the U.S. be next? 84% say yep, it's too addictive for kids and for teens. 10% say no government bans, we are still a free country. And 6% say whatever happened to personal responsibility for the users, parents, and for teens.
Okay, very unusual, but we have both of our poll questions aligning this morning. The one earlier, of course, that Ron just spoke about, that's from many of you television viewers. But in the chat at the very bottom, there's a link to a YouTube poll, and 63% of the people responding say yes, it's just too addictive for kids and teens. 14% say no government bans, we're still a free country. And 22% say what happened to personal responsibility for parents and for teens. And we'll get to Abby in a few minutes with comments a little bit later.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she's still working on that stuff.
All right, Abs, you just let us know when you're ready to go, because we got a great guest lined up for you right now. Very familiar face to us here at Fox 10 Studios, Matt Salmon, longtime congressman. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Really, everything's good.
Yeah, you're out of the political world to an
Thank
extent.
Goodness.
Thank
and
goodness.
into the academic world.
Right.
And you're sitting at the table with someone who holds a master's degree and has taught at ASU.
Come on, bring it on
There
in.
you
Yes.
Go Devils. So what brings you by today?
Well, we recently did a poll with the Democracy Defense Foundation on how Arizonans were feeling about the elections, whether they felt that they were secure and fair and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of scary what the results are. Across the board, it seems like there are way too many people out there that don't have confidence in the elections on both sides of the aisle. And I think, on the one side, the Trump folks, the MAGA folks, have been talking about the 2020 election ad nauseum for the last, 6 years. And now with what's going on with the federal government trying to involve itself in the state responsibilities of elections, people on the left are starting to be concerned too. So it's very discomforting. Our job on the board of the Democracy Defense Foundation is to try to restore confidence, because really here in Arizona, we really do have a pretty safe and secure and reasonable election system.
How do we restore that faith in the system?
I think the best we can do is just keep getting out there and sharing with people the facts, because I think when people actually see what's going on election day and leading up to election day and all of the protections and safeguards that are in place, included in our state laws and our own Constitution, I think they feel more comfortable, but they just don't know the facts.
Well, let's go through some of them here. I'm just going to pull up your poll. I find this totally fascinating.
Yeah.
So this is this part of this recent poll. So, are you concerned or not concerned? Non-citizens voting. 54% are concerned that might happen. 45% not concerned. Some of these other things, cyber attacks, almost 70%.
Yeah, on both
people.
sides of the aisle, people concerned about that.
Let's see, what are some of the other court decisions changing election rules? Almost 80%.
Well,
So-
with the most recent decision by the Supreme Court, a lot of people are wondering, is that going to impact Arizona's vote by mail?
Right.
With the executive order that Trump did regarding the post office and not delivering to people that can't be verified as U.S. citizens. I'm going to say for the record, I support voter ID. I think that's common sense. I think most Americans and most Arizonans do.
Right.
And the idea that you should have to prove that you're an American citizen before you can vote. So I think that's reasonable. But I'm also a person that believes in the U.S. Constitution. And the Constitution is very clear when it states that the lion's share of the responsibility for elections in the U.S. are at the state level,
Interesting.
not at the federal level.
All right, let's go back through some more of this. By the way, though, as far as vote by mail goes, it's too late for anything this election cycle, no matter how it plays out at the Supreme Court, right?
Right. I don't think we'll see any major changes. And by the way, in Arizona, it's a big deal because upwards of 85% of the voters vote by mail in this state in the general elections.
I can remember not that long ago, I believe you were my congressman, as a matter of fact, out there in Mesa, hopping in the car, driving over to Stapley Junior High, standing in line, showing my ID, and then, going to the little kind of flimsy booths that they had there. But people have, I think in Arizona at least, have enough confidence in the vote by mail system, do they not? I mean, it seems like it's working.
It's overwhelmingly popular.
Yeah.
In fact, the numbers don't lie. Like I said, 85%
Yeah.
of Arizonans vote early by mail, and that seems to me a pretty resounding stamp of approval.
You know, you have an interesting group of people, of leaders here that you work with on the Democracy Defense Foundation. Former Governor Jan Brewer,
Right.
State Representative Daniel Hernandez,
Right.
who's a Democrat. We've
Right.
had him on before here.
The two of you together?
Yeah. Oh,
We've
that's right.
We've
You were on
become
with
really,
him.
really close friends.
And
during
I
this
think
process.
that's Jonathan Lyons, Yuma County Supervisor. I
Right.
think it's important to remind folks that, like, there are leaders in Arizona that will work together. And when you came in with Daniel Hernandez, I remember thinking, wow, like you have different opinions on some issues, but you're able to put those aside and say what's the best for Arizona.
You know, I'm going to use a phrase that I just love, and that is disagreeing without being disagreeable. You know, we all have different opinions, and that's been one of the strengths of our country, our Constitution, the way we deliver justice. But in recent years, it's gotten to be almost personal. You know, if you have a different opinion than me, we're not going to be friends anymore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of silly.
It really is.
We've got to get back to, you know, I don't know if you remember that book, I'm Okay, You're Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we ought to get back to that, at least in a political view, is that, you know, we can differ on our ideas of how to get to a better America and a better Arizona without being jerks about it.
Well, and to be honest, we should differ, really. We should differ.
We should.
Because that is what makes
A stronger
country.
Right.
Can you hang with us for a quick
Yeah,
second?
I'd love
I
to.
know we have to go to a break here, Ron, in just a quick second. And do you want to go to the mystery camera?
Sure, let's do that.
All right.
And here it is one more time. We'll be back after this. All right, Celeste, are we getting some mystery cam guesses?
We are. So we've got an Alabama from Louis Gonzalez, Illinois from Thomas Brown. So we have some good ones. What are you going to go with, Ron?
Well, I think I'm going to go with Missouri. I see
Okay.
that from Linda, one of our most loyal viewers out there in the Gila Valley. Linda, I'm going with you in Missouri. How about you, Celeste?
I'm going to go Indiana.
Okay, Indiana, Missouri.
Here is your answer. Cudahy, Wisconsin.
Cudahy.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks like not that many people are traveling to and from Cudahy today.
So Cudahy's got to be a suburb of, I don't know, Milwaukee or Green Bay or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we're wrapping up with Matt Salmon. He is our guest. So tell us just a little bit more about your organization and how people can get involved.
So go on your search engine and look up Democracy Defense Foundation. And we would love to have you see the facts as they really are when it comes to elections, especially here in Arizona and Maricopa County. I think, knowledge is power.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. Excellent. We always appreciate it when you get some time to stop in. And now that you're in the world of academia,
Yeah.
why not? Huh?
Absolutely.
Make a visit back with some more polling results.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Matt.
Matt, good
Thank
to
you.
see you. Thank
Hey,
you.
by the way, Abby, are you ready with a few comments now?
Oh, no, she's right here.
Oh, she's over
Yeah.
there. All right.
Do you guys want to look back at the mystery camera one more time? Let's see
There
if
we
a
go.
plane is taken off or
Yeah.
something. Oh, we have some more people driving around. And we'll be watching this great pick for you
Yeah,
on the
Cudahy.
mystery.
I gotta.
Cudahy.
I
Are
have
you going to look up
find
where
out.
it's at?
Cudahy, Wisconsin. Celeste,
Wisconsin. Ready.
It is the airport for Milwaukee.
Oh, wow. You were great job, Ron.
So what's going on there in Milwaukee where we, at Sky Harbor anymore, it's not unusual to have like 5 or 6 or 7 planes constantly waiting to take off.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty quiet
Unique
today
Jules.
at Milwaukee.
I think Unique Jules says she was right with her first guess. Stick with your first guess,
Yes,
right?
go
Great,
with your
great
gut,
job, Jules.
For sure. Okay, 10:32. We have a great opportunity, Celeste, to chat with Kinsey Schofield, longtime fave here at Fox 10. We love you, Kins.
Oh, we do.
You are a royal reporter. How are you doing?
Ron, only you could get me excited about a random tarmac.
Oh, yes,
Right?
Kins. Isn't that true?
Kins, now, I have to tell you, every day now we have thousands and thousands of people who watch us live streaming.
Yes.
And I go back to when you and Samia were our 2 streamers,
Yes.
and we had like 14 people watching. What's going on?
I think that you're kind of a big deal. I think that you're making waves over there.
Oh, Kins, we've been loving watching all of your coverage of what happens across the pond. We know you've met the king and you're very close to the royals. How's life been for you lately?
Pretty chaotic, because I can tell you for a fact that King Charles and the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Catherine, had no clue that this was coming.
Oh.
Well, I mean, why would they do that? Why would they, especially because it was just the other day that Harry and Meghan went to meet with
Yes.
Grandpa, King
Yeah.
Charles, and they had that, it sounded like close-knit kind of family time, at least with the grandkids.
Yeah.
Why then just sort of spring this on everybody? Why not, I don't know, include them in the planning?
Well, I do think that the intention was to make it seem like the super secret Highgrove meeting was some sort of big kumbaya moment, but really it was highly choreographed by King Charles to protect, to protect the secrets that he felt like could potentially happen within that meeting. He said no cell phones, no images. He wanted to ensure that this wasn't another opportunity for the Sussexes to monetize that proximity to the British royal family. So it sounded like a really sweet moment, but it was the king breaking down, just wanting a private moment with his grandchildren, which he hadn't had in 4 years. And so I think that the Sussexes are failing in the United States when it comes to their professional pursuits. And a return to Britain is an opportunity for them to reestablish their position in society and to, again, maybe inevitably monetize that relationship, which Prince William is very concerned about and is trying to keep his guard up and trying to ensure that that doesn't happen.
It's unfortunate, right, when you think that this is not motivated. It doesn't sound or seem like, Kinsey, what you mentioned, motivated by relationship. It's motivated by some sort of need for the camera or publicity or something like that. Is that your thought on this, Kinsey?
I think it's primarily motivated on reputational management, because Harry and Meghan had all of these huge contracts when they initially left the British royal family with Netflix and Spotify. They no longer have those opportunities. But these companies are seeing the constant fighting and the constant leaks. Even when Ron was talking about Harry's most recent trip, that trip started off with Harry angry that he wasn't going to get the security that he wanted. Leaks and briefs about how Buckingham Palace reneged on their offer to allow him to stay there. He released a statement saying that he called the British justice system a whitewash after he lost his Daily Mail case, which is going to cost him millions upon millions of dollars. And so I think that it's more about trying to look like they're not constantly at war with somebody. If they look less difficult, then perhaps people will be more willing to collaborate with them professionally.
How do you think their rollout is going to go? And by the way, have you heard anything about a time frame on this?
I can tell you that the companies that I work with have photographers set up already, ready to catch the moment that they step off the plane. Like it's a 24-hour watch right now to see when they actually land. The children are already enrolled in school. Now, the photographers will not take pictures of Harry and Meghan's children. That's a rule that was well established before Harry and Meghan returned. In the same way, you don't see pictures of Prince William and Catherine's children unless they submit them or unless they're in a public-facing role like Trooping the Color or Christmas or Easter. So the photographers might try to capture Harry and Meghan landing, but we wouldn't see Princess Lily and Prince Archie because that violates the laws in the United Kingdom. So I do think it's any moment now that they might actually land and start this new life. I believe that they're setting up in the Cotswolds. Sally Bedell Smith, who's a very respected royal author, was wondering if perhaps it could be Althorpe, in the Althorpe area where Princess Diana's brother lives. So there's a debate that's going on about where they will actually set up shop, but it will be outside of London and not in a royal residence. And they are keeping their home in Montecito and their vacation home in Portugal.
Wow. So it's not like you would see them completely moving out of their Montecito home, something like that where people in the United States could watch out as well.
That's a good point. What about, do you think there'll ever be a thaw between Harry and Prince William? I mean, speaking as a grandpa, I could actually see where the king is like, bring those grandkids over. I want to spend some time. I just wonder about the two brothers. What do you think?
I am worried about that. It was just weeks before we found out that Catherine was going in to have lower abdominal surgery, which inevitably evolved into her cancer. That story changed pretty quickly. I want to say an associate of Harry and Meghan's named Omid Scobie released a book called Endgame. And in the Dutch version, he says this was never supposed to go to print because of illegal, but in the Dutch version, he claimed that the Princess of Wales, Catherine, and King Charles were the individuals that discussed Archie's race. And so in the lead up to Catherine's surgery, there was so much attention, negative attention and harassment towards her. Online, I've been told by their security personnel that there were actual legitimate threats that the Wales family was concerned about after that revelation and after the Oprah interview. So I think that Prince William is going to continue to protect his family. I think he really resents some of the attention that Harry has brought on his family, and specifically some of the hate that's been directed towards the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Catherine. And he says, recollections may vary. He doesn't believe that Harry and Meghan are the most reliable narrators.
It's interesting when you think, too, Meghan had said that she would hope to continue her acting career.
Oh, yeah.
Even in the UK, that was something, a report I think that we had yesterday or possibly over the weekend. What are your thoughts on that, Kins? Do you think that that is something that we may see as they move back to England?
Well, I can tell you that this great transition from reliable narrators, because I could send you to 2 interviews that Meghan Markle has given in the last 10 years, where it's in 2018. In 2018 is the first time Meghan Markle says she's checked that box, off her list. She's done acting. She's going to just pursue this life with Prince Harry. It's about her and him now. And then she told Variety that she was done acting in 2022, the September issue where she's on the cover. She's like, no, I don't want to act anymore. I'm producing now. And so the shift back to acting and then the shift back to Britain, we have receipts. We can see and hear what these people have said in the past. And that's why I argue that I feel like they're jeopardizing their brand, because how can your words hold any weight when you're constantly contradicting yourself? I believe that they leaked that she was in talks with Guy Ritchie to star in The Gentleman because they wanted to change the narrative that this move back to Britain was an acceptance of failure. And she wanted to go, no, look, I'm in demand. We also just recently found out that Prince Harry is no longer on the board of the African Parks charity, which is a huge scandal. Again, could the Guy Ritchie story have been an attempt to distract from another negative Sussex headline? They're very clever in the way that they manipulate the media, a la Princess Diana. Harry learned from the best. And so that's what my take is. I don't know if there's really an opportunity for her when it comes to acting, but I can tell you she has said multiple times that she's done that and she doesn't want to go back to that world.
Wow. Okay. Well, I got to tell our executive producer, Dave, next time book Kinsey for an hour, Dave. No more of these 15-minute segments. We could go an hour.
Kinsey, we love you. We
are the
miss you.
best.
I love you too. Hey, I'm coming there next month. Let's get coffee.
Oh, let's
Okay.
do it.
You got
And
it.
maybe
It's a
bring you,
date.
maybe come in live.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kins. We love you. Hey, break time now. Celeste, look at this cloudy, cool little spot somewhere in the USA.
All right, we'll be right back.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Celeste, if we'd had more time with Kinsey, I was going to ask her for a couple of recommendations in London.
Oh, yeah.
But I was over there in the UK just a week or so ago. It was hot. I mean, those people were melting.
Well, they don't have, a lot of them don't have air conditioning. I know
You're
for
telling
us,
me.
we're over 110 this week, and we were there last week. I know, it's brutal.
Yeah.
But there, they don't have, a lot of people don't have air conditioning.
Correct. And so it was
it's humid.
97 degrees.
Yeah, with
one day
humidity.
when we were over there, sure. Yeah. So, I mean, people they were definitely complaining about it around here. We pray for a 97-degree day.
Yes, we do.
But it brings up an interesting travel trend, which I totally buy into this. Instead of vacations, people are taking coolcations.
Love it.
Because we've heard about, I think they were saying it was their 5th heat wave of the summer over there.
Uh-huh.
And so people are now starting to think more about where can I go that's further north,
Alaska.
and get out of the heat.
Yes.
So I have 2 recommendations for you, right?
Wonderful.
So it's called Coolcations. And let's just see some of what they recommend here. Iceland, Scotland, Switzerland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Those are all possibilities. But let me just do this, Celeste, because I'm going to roll it right here.
Roll it, brother. Roll it.
Coolcation suggestion number 1.
Oh, look at you, Ron.
This is,
That's actually,
What
that's a
happened
good shot, too. I don't
yeah,
know. But
that's a nice looking shot. Coolcation number 1. This is out on the Isle of Skye in Scotland.
Okay.
And it was cold enough you had to wear a jacket the whole day, and it looked like about 5 different times like it was just going to start pouring rain.
And then it didn't?
So Scotland, I do believe, Celeste, is a real, I mean, if you're saving up for that big trip, maybe you don't want to go to France, right? Or Greece or whatever.
Yeah.
Go further to the north and go to Scotland.
Or maybe like a Dublin?
Dublin, Ireland, Celeste. Good luck with the rental cars over there.
Oh, really? Is it a nightmare?
Oh, don't even get me started. Anyway.
Just rent Vespas, I guess. Do they have Vespas in Ireland?
Or
like
more of
bikes.
an Italian thing.
Or maybe they do rollerblades.
I did see people on bikes. The other suggestion, Celeste, is if you go, it's planes, trains, and automobiles to get there, but this is a place called the Faroe Islands, which I feel like 5 years ago nobody even heard about it, and now it's all over Instagram every single day.
Do they grow farro there?
Faroe.
Do they grow farro?
What's farro?
It's like it's a grain.
Oh, yeah.
Like a bulgur wheat
They
type
have
thing.
massive grain growing operations
Oh,
there.
wow,
So,
okay.
In fact, I was surprised there was room just to get out on a hike because they're growing so much farro. Anyway, it's a new trend, and it was a chance for me, Celeste, to show off my calves.
You know what? And those knees, Ron.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you show off knees? I don't know. But never get too close to the edge because all these cold locations are not only cold,
my gosh,
they are
it's
windy.
Ron, love when you take us on a little adventure, my friend.
Thank you, Celeste. Well, speaking of, did you know it was on this day 110 years ago, Celeste, that America's national parks finally got the Park Service. So there had been some national parks, and here's TR himself. I love that picture with Teddy Roosevelt, and I'm trying to remember.
Oh, it's interesting that you mentioned Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Because in the Roosevelt family, was related to FDR, yeah?
Yeah, I think he was his second cousin.
Yeah. FDR's daughter used to live in a neighborhood in downtown Phoenix, and we have a cool house coming up probably in a couple weeks.
Really?
It was
With her?
It was her home that she lived in here in Phoenix in the
wow.
early 1920s.
Oh my gosh, Celeste,
Yeah.
I love your cool house. That's so great. Anyway, it was on this day in 1916, 110 years ago, that America's national park system was created as an act by the president at the time, Woodrow Wilson. But frankly, it's really all due to Teddy Roosevelt because, if you think about it, he alone as president created, I think it was, if you add up the national monuments and the national parks, about 30. Just from that one guy.
Wow.
Because he came out here and I think he loved life in the West.
How many do we have now?
How many what?
How many national parks do we have now? Let me see.
I think it's about 70. Well, remember
That's
our
a
guest
lot.
yesterday, they said they had been to all 63 national parks.
Oh, yeah, 63.
Right, with Grandma
Yep,
Joy?
that's it,
There you
63.
go. Impress your friends with that one. Now, one other note in history. So very cool. By the way, do you have a favorite national park?
You know what? I have not been to many out in the east, so that's
Okay.
So we haven't done something like that.
Shenandoah,
Yeah, I haven't been.
that would be-
So mostly across the west, but I will say probably, obviously the Grand Canyon on a cloudy day, like in like maybe February or March. You know, see the clouds kind of come in and kind of linger around the canyon, or Bryce Canyon.
You know, Bryce Canyon is so great.
Oh, I have a great photo from that. It's just like something so amazing and magical.
Well, not only that, but it's just an 8-hour drive to get up there.
I know.
You can do it on a long weekend. If you had
Yeah.
a 3-day, you go as far as maybe Page
Yeah.
on, say, Friday night.
Right.
And then Saturday, you're up in the hiking country by noon.
Yeah, and if you're in an
Bryce and
RV,
Zion.
you can stay the night at the campground there in Lake Powell. That's what we
Sure.
did in
Yeah,
Page.
right.
And then
or
you're
if you're
up
a
in Bryce.
cheapskate, sleep in your car.
That's true too.
Hey, there's one other thing when it comes to on Today in History.
Okay.
This is so cool. John Netzel, he and I, we do the Great American Story.
Yeah, it's
and
a
I
big
said,
hit.
John, can you find me some kind of a report? Because it was on this day in 1944 that the Allies they liberated Paris from the Nazi scourge.
Oh,
And John said, guess what? I just found you the full report. Check this out.
so cool.
The Americans in Paris, and the Arc de Triomphe witnesses a scene of magnificent triumph. Now Paris can celebrate liberation with joy undisturbed and unconfined. The motorized equipment, the type of power with which the Americans, British, Canadians, and French have won. American Red Cross girls rejoicing in the privilege of seeing one of the proudest sights that American eyes. War.
Wow.
That is
Super
amazing. Look at
cool.
all those people.
Look at that on this day in
Wow.
1944. There goes Charles de Gaulle. You know, the airport's still named after him, CDG.
Wow.
So,
Thank you, John Netzel, for doing the
yeah,
deep
no
dive.
kidding. And thanks to, we've lost pretty much all of our World War II veterans. Just a few remain, but thanks to all who served, that's for sure.
Wow.
Celeste, what happened yesterday with Aunt Mary?
So my Thea Mary, she lives here. We're from our whole family. We're pretty much from Tempe, and she watches Fox 10 Talks. Yesterday we had Grandma Joy and her grandson Brad on. Right, many of you who were hanging with us, you remember. Great interview. Grandma Joy and Brad, as Ron mentioned a second ago, have hit up all 63 national parks.
Incredible.
Now they're traveling internationally, and they had a book signing and kind of a book tour at Changing Hands in Tempe. So.
Okay.
Being from Tempe, my Aunt Mary, she's like, I'm going to go. She lives right down the street.
Nice.
It's on, this Changing Hands is on McClintock and Guadalupe. And so she went, there's Grandma Joy right there. My Aunt Mary, my Thea Mary, said it was a packed house at Changing Hands. She wanted to go get an autograph, but there were so many people. She was like, I can't wait. But here they are on stage. And she just said it was so entertaining and it was amazing. And so we're just glad that we were able to chat with them, with Grandma Joy and Brad. And thank you, Thea Mary, for sharing these videos, our pictures with us. But she said it was just so fun.
And thank goodness for local bookstores like Changing
I
Hands.
know.
When you even see the picture, you're like, I want to go hang out there.
Yeah,
You
they,
know, that is so
it's
great.
connected to a little Wildflower Bakery. Get a Sammy or something
yeah,
like that.
See? Right.
You
for
guys
sure.
got to check out their interview with us, though. It was really amazing.
All right.
Thank you, Thea Mary.
Hey, coming up here in just a few minutes, it's Ty and Anita. But before we do that, Celeste, we need to talk about what is going down at Wendy's.
Oh my gosh.
So they're going to start rolling out, I guess it's a $1.99 menu. They're going to be updating their app on an everyday basis. And this is like the smartest move, no matter what. I went to Burger King again this weekend.
Okay.
And the Whopper is so much better than it was even a year ago. They used to wrap it in paper so it got all gooey.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it honestly didn't seem that hot and fresh.
Yeah.
Well, now you wait an extra 2 or 3 minutes for them to make it, and it's in a cardboard box instead. And it's just, I mean, Burger King's knocked it out of the ballpark, and I think Wendy's is too, with a $1.99 deal.
For 10 nuggets. That's 20 cents a nugget.
Oh,
you know
Celeste,
what I mean?
You are a math whiz. I forget that you are a math whiz.
Here's the thing is that when some of these fast foods, I remember in college, I was on such a tight budget eating mac and cheese, ramen.
Oh, ramen.
Like, yeah, ramen was 10 cents for one of those
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd go through Wendy's on a good day and I would spend $1 on 5 chicken nuggets, $1 on a baked potato, and $1 on a salad at Wendy's. So hopefully they bring more of those back, and other places do too.
Yeah, it's a good app, that's for sure. But $1.99 with any kind of a purchase, and they're just following on the heels of the $1 Frosty deal that they did. So they are getting it because people are fed up with high prices everywhere. Now, when it comes to prices, Celeste,
are you a dipper? Though I have to ask Ron, fry dip in the Frosty or no fry dip in the
fry?
No fry in the
dip.
Frosty.
Enjoy them one at a time. Celeste, I have no idea when it comes to cost what it's going to cost to take an air taxi. But the days of the flying cars are getting so close, they have announced for the 2028 Olympics, they are going to have an air taxi service to fly you over because we've all been through LA traffic. So why not?
That's crazy.
Right?
It looks like a big drone with the propellers all on top,
I know,
right?
Look at it right there. It's super cool looking. Anyway, Archer Aviation says they're going to build their first port, a vertiport, in downtown LA, and they'll zip you right over to the Olympic venue. And then they say after 2028, after the Olympics, they're going to maintain their air taxi network across LA. What happens over there sometimes comes here.
Wow. The FAA is going to have to do some flight testing, it looks like, too, when it comes to that.
Yeah. I'm
You know what I
mostly
mean?
concerned about Anita because you're going to have to do the ground traffic now, and you're going to have to do all the air cars.
I know. Oh, it's going to be like the Jetsons. All right, Anita and Tyre next. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great Tuesday. See you tomorrow. The Jetsons.
Oh, goodness. Okay, welcome in, everyone. We begin with very, very sad news. TMZ reporting just moments ago that Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80, and that is according to video posted to her Instagram account by her nephew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we are just learning this, just coming out. Again, TMZ just reporting this, dying at the age of 80. Now, not too long ago, she was set to do some sort of
I believe it was a show in
right?
Las Vegas, if I'm not
like
mistaken.
a residency almost.
And then her sister put out some information saying that she wasn't feeling well. And then she came out and posted a video saying, I'm still
okay.
here.
Yeah.
I'm going to, while we're chatting, I'm going to look. It's allegedly on her Instagram account as well. So we'll see if we can get a little bit more information. She had 8.5 million followers. And this is the latest. Thank you. So this is her nephew. Her nephew posted a 2+ minute video talking a little bit about Dolly Parton, a message from the family. So if you have Instagram, I'm sure that we'll be covering that throughout the morning as well.
And it looks like he posted that just 12 minutes ago on her official Instagram.
Yeah. And we really haven't heard from her from the past couple of weeks, but I remember the first time I was introduced to Dolly Parton, I watched the movie 9 to 5. Have you ever watched that
No,
movie?
not the whole thing.
It's scandalous. I don't know if they could get away with something like that today, but instantly fell in love with her. And she had Dollywood and then was recently opening up these big gas stations similar to other
A Buc-ee's type. Yeah.
yes. So Dolly was a legend, an absolute
she sure
legend,
was.
and everyone loved her because she was so kind. So we will have more on that throughout the morning as
Yeah,
well.
kind of sad to hear.
News.
Yeah,
It
for
really
sure.
is, so.
All right, well, we're switching gears. We are just getting so close to the midterm election here in Arizona, and we've had a lot of the candidates sitting right here at this table talking about why they should be the next candidate here in Arizona.
Yeah, in fact, one of those was Kris Mayes, and I was filling in with Celeste for Ron just a couple of weeks ago, and she sat down for a good 20 minutes, if not, talking a little bit about why she should be reelected. So that is one of the big races. She is the Democrat incumbent, and she leads the latest polls. Republican Warren Peterson is her opponent, 44 to 38%, 16% undecided. However, a lot of people are saying that she has an advantage, especially among independents, where she is leading Peterson 44 to 20%.
And someone that needs no introduction here in the state of Arizona is our former governor, also a former AG here in Arizona, Janet Napolitano. Miss Napolitano, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us this afternoon.
Well, thank you. And like you all and so many in the audience, I'm so sorry to hear about Dolly Parton.
I know, it's just tragic, isn't it?
Yeah. I always liked her and just thought she was a wonderful performer and a wonderful person.
And
Did you
hilarious.
ever have opportunity to watch her perform?
Pardon me?
Did you ever have opportunity to see her perform live?
No, I wish I had.
me too.
That's one of the experiences I never had. But I saw her in the movies. I saw her on television. And, you know, she was just that combination of talent and warmth and personality that is really unique.
Yeah, I think she was larger than life. She was really itty bitty, right, in size and stature, but she was just larger than life with personality, kindness, and her heart, which is so amazing. Again, thank you for joining us. We obviously wanted to talk a little bit about the local races and then a lot of what you're seeing as far as, you know, politics go. You have such an amazing resume. U.S. Attorney for District of Arizona, 93 to 98. Attorney General here in Arizona, 99 to 2003. Governor of Arizona, first female to be elected to a full term and reelected, 2003 to 2009. United States Secretary of Homeland Security, 2009 to 2013. First woman to do so in that position. Really remarkable. You know, how do you go about even beginning a career like that?
Well, part of it is just timing. Part of it is I came on the shoulders of others who came before. And I was always fortunate. The issues I was involved in, the issues I was fighting for, fell very neatly into the various positions that I've had, from being federal prosecutor to being the state AG, and I know we want to talk about that office, the governor, secretary of Homeland Security, and then president of the University of California.
So obviously you're in California now, but some of those issues that you were seeing when you were governor here in Arizona and AG, we're still seeing. I mean, we're talking about immigration, we're talking about water. What are you thinking are some of the big issues that our candidates going forward still have to talk about?
Well, I definitely think water. With the recent federal intervention in the allocation from the Colorado River, it's going to very seriously affect Arizona, very seriously affect the Phoenix area, which gets, I think, 30 to 40% of its water from the Colorado River. And you know, this is the long game. The water is never a sexy topic until you don't have it. And now Arizona, unfortunately, along with the other lower basin states, is really bearing the brunt of what has been a multi-decade long drought and tremendous population growth in the lower basin states.
I think the latest polls showed that water is really the top issue among Arizona voters. Border issues are as well. We had Kris Mayes in here a couple of weeks ago talking a little bit about what she's doing with the border, how she is working with President Trump and trying to get more border patrol, more security out there. That was a hot topic for you. It's still a hot topic, even though so much has changed in politics. What more can be done? What more would you like to see her doing for the people of Arizona?
Well, the Arizona border has been a challenge for a number of years. When I was governor, the first years I was governor, 60% of Border Patrol arrests along the southwest border came through the Tucson sector. And that was because the Border Patrol had done operations in the San Diego Tijuana area and the El Paso Juarez area, and they left this gap in Arizona, and the traffic moved. Now, I think the Trump administration has actually done a good job on the border, and they've put, you know, a lot of resources down there. So the numbers have really diminished substantially. But the border requires constant attention, and it also requires some cooperation with state and federal authorities to really be effective. I think Kris has done a very good job there, and I characterize, you know, border security itself is different than interior immigration enforcement, mass deportations, and so forth, which is a whole different ball of wax than border security. But every country deserves secure borders, and the United States is no different, and Arizona is no different.
Can I just ask you, because politics here in Arizona is so, I guess, different. I mean, Arizona voted for Trump, but yet we have a governor, an attorney general, a secretary of state, that all went Democrat. Going forward, I mean, you obviously have been in the thick of this. It's kind of one of these, obviously we're a battleground state, but why do you think there is that shift between local politics and federal politics?
It's interesting. I love Arizona politics, and I love Arizona. It's interesting. I think Katie Hobbs, Adrian Fuentes, Kris Mayes got elected on their own merits, and in part because the Republican primary yielded Republican candidates who were just too extreme for Arizona voters. My experience in Arizona, and I was running when Arizona was much redder than it is today, was that Arizonans were very pragmatic, and they tended a little center left on some issues, a little center right on some issues, but they really did not favor candidates from the extreme from either direction. And I think, you know, Kris has really hit the sweet spot because she has been an incredibly effective attorney general in her years in office. You know, you just look at the record of all she's done, including fighting for water and water allocation. So, you know, I think, and I'm very proud to say, I think she deserves a second term.
Well, you hired Kris Mayes. So
I did. I hired her to be my press secretary. She'd been a reporter for the Arizona Republic, and I persuaded her to come into the governor's office. And she was great to work with. She did a terrific job. And then when a vacancy occurred on the Corporation Commission, I asked her to leave the governor's office, fill that vacancy. And then, of course, she ran for the Corporation Commission and won election to it in her own right. So she's a very experienced public servant in Arizona.
Yes, you Obviously saw something in her then. Is that what you're seeing in her now that makes you believe she should remain in the position she's in and be reelected?
Yeah, Kris is just super smart, and she's super energetic, and perhaps most important, she is very committed to Arizonans and to Arizona. She grew up in Prescott. She's a Yavapai County product, moved to Phoenix, and she really has strong values that underlie all the energy and intellect she's putting into her performance as Attorney General.
Well, Ms. Napolitano, I did Google, by the way, this morning because I didn't know how to address you. Do I call you Secretary Napolitano, former Governor Napolitano? So I guess my last question is, how do you like to be addressed?
Call me Janet. That's my name.
I was going to say, can we call you Janet?
Well, Janet,
Thank you.
it was a pleasure talking to you. Next time you're here in Arizona, come
please.
stop by and hang out with us,
That
will
would
you?
be wonderful.
All right. Thank you very much.
You look fantastic. Thank you.
And obviously, she was talking about A.G. Mays. We should mention that we have interviewed Mr.
Thank you so
Warren,
muthat was great.
Here to say,
He's been on the stream, and if you would like to watch any of those interviews, everything is archived on the YouTube channel, and I'm sure he'll probably be back because we still have a couple of months, really, until the big election day. So all the candidates are here. They're all speaking out, and they're all going to have a voice.
All right, before we leave, it is time for our game we play every day. What year was it? All right, let's see what happened. Mary Poppins makes the world premiere in Los Angeles.
Gosh,
I'm going to say...
I'm a terrible guesser, so...
I'm going to go 1963.
I was going to say the same, but I'll go 54.
You're going to go 54?
Yeah, I was going to say 63 as well for some reason. Okay, guys, go ahead and guess. No cheating, please. We'll be right back in 2.5.
Oops, hold on. I didn't mean to take that. I wanted to go back to our question. What year was it? When did Mary Poppins premiere in Los Angeles? You said 1954. I said 1963. We're getting lots of good guesses in the chat. We have Linda saying 1964. Someone, Arizona Blondie, saying 76, a 48, a 54, a 64, a 64. So what year was it? 64.
Wow.
Oh, I was 1 year off.
I know.
Not
You're
too
good
bad.
at guessing.
And we got some good guesses
I
in
was
the
going to
chat.
say 63. I'm looking at Dolly's Instagram. I'm really upset about this one.
I know. It's a sad one.
Yeah.
Kind of a shock.
Okay, we want to talk about something a little bit more lighthearted very quickly, you guys.
We got a lot of paperwork going on,
if
you
I
guys.
can find my
This
article.
goes to show how busy we
If
are on a
not,
Tuesday.
I'm just going to go ahead and
Here, do you
introduce
I'll
Elizabeth.
share mine. Elizabeth is here from the Arizona State Parks.
No
and Trails.
paperwork.
I know.
I'll tell you
How
all
are
about
you?
it.
And we're talking about camping.
We are.
We love camping.
We do, yeah. So the Arizona Family Campout has opened registration for our fall season. This is a really cool program. I don't know if you've heard much about this program. It's been going for, just about a decade, but we just doubled the number of campouts that we host each season.
So
So
what
that's
does that
really
mean?
exciting.
What is the program
Let
for
me
people
t-
who haven't heard about
For
it?
those who haven't heard, this is a program designed to teach families who are new to camping how to do it, how
I
to be more
love that.
comfortable, gain confidence outdoors.
So how is it structured?
Yeah, so folks sign up, they register, and then we send them everything that they need to bring, which is actually quite minimal for a camping trip because we provide all the gear.
So it's
we
like
bring-
basically you're renting it from
Yeah,
them.
you are, yeah, but you're going accompanied. So our ranger is there with you, our volunteers are there with you, we camp with you for the weekend.
Oh,
and
how
we do
fun.
Yeah, we do all these fun different activities from archery, kayaking, geocaching.
So you could actually figure out if you like it.
Yeah.
Before you even invest and before you head out with the kids and they're going to get cranky and say, I don't like them.
Where's
man.
my iPad?
Oh,
I have-
mosquito.
We haven't heard it with this program. We never hear I'm bored.
Yeah.
The parents are always like, thank you for giving my kids lots of things to do and also just a taste of all the different outdoor recreation activities that are available to you. So
Geographically, where are these located?
all across the state. For example, our first camp out is at Humalavi State Park. Have you guys heard
No.
of this?
No.
It's tucked in Winslow, so northern Arizona, some cooler weather, higher elevation. And this is a really neat park. It is an archaeological park. So campers will get to go and take a Pueblo site tour, see some petroglyphs, try some pottery making. But we're also going to do stargazing and scorpion finding. Scorpions fluoresce under UV light, so we're going to look at them
Do we
glow.
want to find them?
We love finding them
Okay.
because then we can learn all about them and know how to be safe and see how cool they are in the ecosystem. So northern Arizona, we're going out to Parker and camping on the Colorado River.
Oh, cool.
Tombstone, southern Arizona. We're going to be at Payson this season.
Simple things like I remember one of the first times we went camping. I was so young, and my core memory is that there were some rodents, and my mom was not liking the rodents. My dad had to move the rodents; they weren't alive, and had to put the tent down. But he put the tent down also in an area that was a little sloped, so everybody woke up at the bottom of the tent.
Yeah.
So you do need to know how
you're doing.
and where to pitch this tent.
That's right. Our ranger is going to show you when you get to the campsite. Look above you. Make sure there's no dead tree limbs above you.
Smart.
Look down at the feet underneath the ground underneath your feet. Make sure it's even. There aren't big rocks that are going to poke a hole in your tent floor. All the things that you're maybe not thinking about as a brand new camper, we're going to help you with.
I
Love
love
that.
this. So how do people sign up for these? And you mentioned, they're literally everywhere, so you could make a little road trip, make a nice fun weekend out of it.
That's right. They're September through December, and you can sign up on our website, azstateparks.com/family. It's $90 for a family of 4 for the weekend camping, additional $5 on top of that for each family member. And this program's designed for children ages 6 and up because we do have some more advanced activities for your kids to take part in.
And you're providing all the camping gear, so
Yes.
you bring your own food?
So you'll bring some food and your sleeping bags. We've got the tent, we've got the camping stoves, the camping chairs, the lanterns, the camping pads, all the stuff you need.
What could be better?
For $90 for a whole weekend for
That's
a
a
family
deal.
of 4, that is a very good deal.
And I don't know about you, but I don't have a bow and arrow at home. Some people don't have kayaks. We do fishing, lots of different stuff, and we provide all that gear.
I love it.
that.
Yeah.
We both love that.
Yeah.
It's
We
super
could be a
fun.
family of 2.
You
Let's
should
go.
probably come out.
All right.
Let's go camping.
How do people find all the info and sign up?
Yep. So you can, our social media is a great place, but also our website, azstateparks.com/family. We've got the list of all the different parks. Some of these parks are day use parks. So camping with the program sort of like an exclusive perk.
Yeah.
You get to stay overnight at Tombstone.
When you never get to do that.
During Halloween. How fun is
Oh,
that? So, yeah,
Creepy. Bring
really
your
cool
Ouija
stuff.
board.
After that, we're going to have to touch base with you because maybe we can actually, on the broadcast side, send a reporter out and you guys can show us all the gear. And
That'd
all
be
that
fun.
That would be the best.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks
It
for
was
coming
nice
in.
seeing
We
you.
appreciate it. Okay, we've been covering breaking news, Ty. We do have video of pictures of Dolly Parton this afternoon. TMZ breaking the news. Her nephew posting just a short time ago that at the age of 80, Dolly Parton died. Very sad news.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on because we have covered the story before. It was kind of an unsolved mystery that is still kind of out there. And so one man took it upon himself to make a whole documentary about what exactly happened to Jason Derek Brown. He was, well, you know what? Charlie's here. Why don't we have Charlie explain? Charlie, it is good to see you. Thanks for
morning.
coming back.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to play the movie, and while we do, this is kind of the trailer for it. Walk us through what this is all about, because people might remember this. This is back in 2004.
22 years ago, the Monday after Thanksgiving weekend, which is a huge box office weekend for the movie business, a coward by the name of Jason Derek Brown shot and murdered Keith Palomares. You just saw Keith's blood right there. Shot him 5 times in the head. Stole $56,000 in cash. That's what Keith was walking out with. That's me interviewing Lance Lysing, the FBI case agent. And it's unsolved, incredibly. And Brown was put on the FBI's most wanted list, taken off the list, unfortunately, 3 years ago. When you reach the FBI's most wanted list, that's very serious. Osama bin Laden has been on that list. Whitey Bulger has been on that list. And
Very interesting. Why was he taken off?
it's a great question, and we asked that question in the film. The reason I got was because he was not as deemed as dangerous as, let's say, someone who should be on that list as well. I'm not exactly sure. It's a great question.
Maybe
How
the criteria has changed because it's been so long? Or?
Yeah, I just think that they looked at Brown and they said this is probably just a one-off. He was not known for violence. So this shocked Brown's family as well. The sister wrote a book about the family. Jason Derek Brown's dad disappeared as well 10 years prior to the murder. So like father, like son. This is a bizarre case. That's Jason Derek Brown right there. He deserves a death penalty for the coward act that he committed, the murder, ambushing an armored car courier, shooting him 5 times in the head and leaving him to die. It happened in broad daylight, 10 in the morning. And the movie's going to open up at the actual movie theater where it occurred.
Wow.
At the AMC Ahwatukee. And for all the information on the film, please go to thecowardfilm.com. We would love to hear people's opinion on this. Maybe gather leads.
Yeah.
You never know.
Why did this interest you so much that you wanted to create a whole documentary about this?
Yeah, well, my track record is to inform, educate, raise awareness. I've made over 40 true crime documentaries.
Wow.
My films represent innocent people who have been murdered. John Hook has been a great influence on my career. He's the one who told me about this case. Also, he told me about the Robert Fisher case, which became a documentary too. I made that film called Where is Robert Fisher? So I do these films for victims, for families. I don't mention the killer's name in any of my movies because I think that creates copycats. In this case, I had to because Brown is on the loose. So it's anyone's guess where he is right now. Some people think he's dead.
Many of the documentaries that you made, one from my hometown, the Lane Bryant murders, where the
Oh,
7
yeah,
women
Chicago,
were killed,
sure,
the
yeah.
Chicago area. Reasons were unknown, motive was unknown, suspects unknown. Has anyone watched your documentary and then subsequently come forward with tips and or information?
Yeah, we get so many leads from the website. And some people are more comfortable talking to a non-law enforcement official. They feel more free to talk. So we talk to everybody. You know, my producer will get back to everyone, or I'll get back to people. We want to hear from people. The public could solve this case.
Yeah.
Because I think we all have to be more vigilant. We have to look for people who wear sunglasses and a baseball cap when it's not sunny out. Little things like that. But we feel Brown is alive, and he's living a con life. He's mooching off of somebody. He's manipulating someone, probably sleeping on someone's couch, because that's what he was doing while this all happened.
Why do we think he did this? Were they known to each other?
No, he didn't. He didn't
Just
know
wanted
Keith.
the money?
Money, greed. He needed it for his own ego. He was the $30,000 millionaire, is the way Lance Lysing described him to be. He pretended he had all this cash when he didn't. He's one of these guys where if he gets paid, he would immediately cash that check and show everyone in hundreds. Oh,
how much he had.
Exactly.
Pile of cash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When that's all he had.
Yeah.
So Brown deserves a death penalty. There's just no other way around it. To ambush a 24-year-old kid whose life was just in front of him 5 times in the head at 10 a.m. in broad daylight, he destroyed Palomares' family. The mom died of cancer 3 years later, saw no justice for her son, and she died on the very day Brown was put on the FBI's most wanted list in such an ironic twist there.
Are there really any coincidences you have to ask yourself when you look at all that information?
Like father, like son.
Yeah.
And I just think that the film opening up at the AMC Theater, where it happened, I mean, how's that for reverse karma?
Sure.
Maybe it'll get solved because the movie came out at that theater where the murder occurred. I don't know if that's ever happened before, where a movie came out about a story where the murder occurred.
Yeah. We've only got about a minute left. If folks want to get more information about this, go to the screening. How can they get more information?
Well, everything's on the website, thecowardfilm.com. And on September 25th, I happen to be releasing another movie at that theater about Mexico soccer. I went to the World Cup in Guadalajara. So the movie's called Pasión, and that website is pasionfilm.com. Pasión means passion.
You're a very busy man.
Yeah, you are.
I've done 46 documentaries. This is my life.
Wow.
And I put 40 of them on Amazon, so I'm not stopping.
Okay. Well, come back when you make the next one, please. They're very interesting. A lot of people
They really are,
talking about how
Thank
great
you.
they are.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Okay, you guys, jam-packed, busy day, a lot of news happening. So we're going to take a break. Ron and Des are next, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Well, as we go on with you now here and we continue with Fox 10 Talks, our streaming show every day from 10 a.m. till noon, we're just dealing with the, frankly, such sad news that Dolly Parton has died. All of us just getting the word in the newsroom in the last little while. And so when you think about the legend that Dolly Parton has been in our country, and just, you know, you look at some of these highlights right here, Desiree, where you can just see she just seems so real. I was telling people in the newsroom, I barely, but I do remember interviewing her back in the 90s. It was just real quick on Zoom, but she was just so genuine and so easy to talk to, and it seemed like she was that way with everybody.
Yeah, she was just a light. Just always a joy, not only to hear her music, but to hear her speak. And I feel like her soul was beautiful, too. I mean, not only was she this country music icon, a cultural icon, but a philanthropist as well.
Oh, gosh, yes,
and that
right?
was, I mean, I think one of the most admirable aspects, you know, about her is that she cared just so deeply about her fans, the community that she lived in,
Yes,
children.
so many stories, yes.
You know, she was just incredible.
Let's bring Tim Hattrick on the line right now. Tim, of course, with Tim and Brooke every morning on KNIX. And Tim, you and I were just talking a minute or two ago about any memories or stories you have about Dolly.
Well, I appreciate the chance to come on and share a couple of moments that personal glimpses I had of Dolly. I want to say, first of all, that it's incredibly sad news, and it's also a little hard to fathom because she was such a dynamic life force and has been around for so long and so relevant for so many decades now. It's hard to believe that life could be, you know, extinguished. But I was afraid this day was coming with more and more reports of her failing health in the last, 18 months or so. And so it's a very sad day. But like you, Hooner, I got to interview her. It was just a phone interview on the Tim and Willie show sometime in the 90s, and she was so nice. It's what everybody is saying. She was genuine. She was endearing. She made you feel like you were her best friend, like you were a neighbor. In fact, I asked her, who she lived around in terms of the country music world at the time. And I think she was across the street from somebody in Rascal Flats, and she was Keith Urban's next door neighbor. And I'm like, well, that must be fun when you need to borrow a cup of sugar. Do you just run next door? She laughed and said, it's like that, except we all have giant gates and there's, sometimes acres and acres between our properties. So
she had to ride the horse over.
Yes, exactly. But she said, and she said this sincerely, and I'm just so mad that I didn't take her up on this. She said, well, the next time you are in Nashville, I want you to come to my house because I'm going to make you some of my special biscuits. Oh. And I'm like, Dolly, this is the greatest offer I've ever had in my life. I don't know why I never took her up on that, but I just I can't believe that Dolly Parton is now gone. She's been such not just for country music, but just in life, such an example of how to be kind and how to be super rich and famous, but still be a decent human being.
Yeah, I know, right? And I mean, she came from obviously very, very humble beginnings, a family, that didn't have a lot of money. She was one of 12 children. Yeah, so just incredible. So came from this large family. They didn't have much. And you always got that sense that you're right, Tim. She didn't get too far away from that. Or, she remembered what that was like.
And this is interesting. About a year ago, maybe a little longer, she said she recorded a song recently, not long ago, but she says this song was so good she thought it could be released and played and be a contemporary hit in country music. And she was embarrassed to release it while she was still alive, so she gave instructions to put it in a vault in a time capsule for after she left. That's actually at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And there was a part of her that was tempted, this was maybe a year and a half ago, to crack that thing open early to play this song for people because she was so proud of it. And I guess if there's any silver lining to her passing, it's that this song now can finally be set free, and we get to hear posthumously a great Dolly Parton song once again.
What do you think it was? She rose to superstardom. I wouldn't be surprised if she was a billionaire, but she was certainly a 100 millionaire. What do you think it was that kept her so humble and grounded?
I think it's that beginning, that never forgetting what it's like to have nothing. That she always kept that with her, not in just her music, but in her. I mean, what's funny, she's so flashy and flamboyant. From an outside looking in, you could see her in a glance and say, wow, she's really gone glitzy in Hollywood and the big hair and big other things. But I'll just say that it's remarkable that she was so humble and kind and grounded in spite of all of, the trimmings of success like that. I mean, don't forget, she was one of the first people who donated her own money in the millions for a vaccine during COVID. Do you remember that?
$1 million.
Wow. Yeah.
$1 million.
Talk about
That's right.
magnanimous. Yes, that's a remarkable thing. What a legacy to have left behind. What a testament.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
Well, and I'm also seeing, Tim, like you said, right, giving, that money towards the vaccine. And then even as we're learning of this news of her passing, I'm trying to do some research here. It looks like in an official statement from the family, in her final wishes, according to her nephew, Brian Seaver, Dolly has requested no flowers for her funeral, instead asking that donations be made to her imagination library. And that is just incredible. That's something that benefits children across the country. You can go on, you can sign up. She'll send you free books. That's how much she cared. Like here in the end, hearing that she wants donations.
Wow,
that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. That's so remarkable. What a way to live. What a legacy to leave behind.
Got a favorite Dolly Parton song, Tim? Anything come to mind?
Today, I think today the song to listen to is a Brad Paisley song that she sings with him called "When I Get Where I'm Going."
Oh wow. Well, and I think, the one that always comes to mind for me is "I Will Always Love You."
Oh yeah. Gosh.
In that movie, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, she and Burt Reynolds were absolutely magic on the screen, and it's such a touching song. Then it gets covered by Whitney Houston. And I heard Dolly tell the story of when she was driving around somewhere and she heard it come on the radio, and she had to just stop and listen. Because she appreciated that next generation of musicians that were coming up that could take something she had made beautiful and do it in her own way as well. I mean, just magnanimous, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the chance to come on and share a couple of stories about her because, man, what a day this is and what a treat it has been to have her as part of country music and just our world. They're going to miss her.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim, thank you for your time today. We appreciate you.
I'm going to go pour myself a cup of ambition right now.
925. Thank you, Tim. All right.
All right. Yeah. Take care, guys.
Awesome.
Well,
Thanks,
that's people are going to remember her, I think, Des, for the philanthropy, for everything she did for Dollywood. Like you said, the Imagination Library that she was so involved in. I believe she had 25 #1 hits. And let's not forget her acting career. I mean, she really lit up the stage or the screen over and over again with just about every role. And she was pretty versatile. She could play a lot of different roles, and she just did it so well.
Yeah, she did. I mean, what a loss.
Yeah, I know.
Just right. She just beamed like a sense of light, right?
Right.
And also, I always found it fascinating too. I mean, with Dollywood. Not only was she great in music, but she was a brilliant businesswoman too.
Oh my gosh,
she created Dollywood,
right?
And she had, investments in other areas as well. And that's actually where the bulk of her money came from. Was not even the country music that she made.
Yeah, and I had just read a story just the other day that there was a brand new ride. I think it was a big big time roller coaster that they were unveiling, and she was so excited because it had been in the works for quite a while.
Yeah.
And somebody with either her agent or in her family, they were saying she just felt like she just couldn't make it. And this was only about a week ago.
Yeah.
And so she had been, we just don't know. We don't know what kind of a medical or health fight she had been in.
Yeah.
Her sister posted about it, and Dolly kind of dialed it back a little bit.
Right, we did. Right, remember when we heard those reports, and then we kind of heard from her at that time.
Yeah,
she
do
came
I
out with the
look like-
video
yeah,
saying,
right.
"Hang on a second,
Right.
I'm okay."
Yeah, yeah.
So this is just not the news we were hoping for. But I say we take the show on the road.
Hey, you got all the
Dollywood.
contacts in Nashville, Des.
We should head out. That
Yeah.
would be fun.
Right.
Yeah. Wow, what a loss.
Did you, when you were in Nashville, did you ever get a chance to talk to any country stars, that kind of a thing?
Not to her, no, not to her
Yeah.
caliber.
Right,
Yeah,
sure.
and I was really, I covered majority of the, hard breaking news
Yeah.
on a day-to-day basis, my time there. But yeah, I guarantee you, if we were to go back today, they will be
right.
playing nothing but Dolly
Sure.
music.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Years ago, I had a boss who said, "Hey, country music's getting so big. I want you to go interview a guy who, at the time, nobody even knew who he was, but he was an upcoming star named Joe Diffie." And Joe Diffie, by the way, was one of the first prominent people in any genre of music who died from COVID. And I was so sad to hear about that. And yet we spent a few hours with him, and he was the most I'm trying to think of the song. Welcome to Earth, Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh.
That great tune.
That's a fun title.
But it just
Wow.
it felt like every person in country music that you ran across. I'm sure there are a few, that are hard to deal with, but
Yeah.
somebody like him, somebody like
Yeah.
Dolly, they just are just such genuine people.
Yeah, and I mean, she was a true professional. It seemed, even if she was having a bad day, it
Yeah,
didn't seem
sure.
like we ever knew it.
We never knew
We
Dolly to
never
have
knew
a
it.
bad day,
No,
right?
no.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thanks to Tim for joining us with some of those thoughts as well.
Absolutely.
Wish he would have taken her
Yeah.
up on that biscuit offer.
I know. Yeah, lesson learned, huh?
Yeah.
Is this the mystery cam?
It is.
All right.
Be
Where
right
is
back.
this?
11:45. We welcome you back. All right, mystery cam time, Des. We're getting some guesses coming in here.
Yeah, I love this. So we have a guest of Pennsylvania from Outlaw Dynamo. And then we've got 2 guesses for Tennessee.
Oh, nice. Right.
following
Okay.
that,
Kentucky, Pennsylvania, could be Tennessee. I like all of those. I'm looking at those mountains. What do you think?
I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go somewhere kind of up north and do somewhere like in New England or something like Massachusetts.
Oh, you think?
Maybe.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Well, I guess it could be.
Sure.
All right. Let
Okay.
me grab the...
Here we go.
Grab the answer.
Everybody.
Oh, we're both wrong.
Yeah.
We're all wrong. No one guessed right. It's
We're all wrong.
Lynchburg, Virginia.
Oh, man, that picture right there does not do Lynchburg justice. It is, there was a guy who passed many years ago named Jerry Falwell, and he had started kind of a political organization, and we went to Lynchburg to interview him, and I just fell in love with that whole town. Of course, now what was a small college at the time, Liberty University, is one of the major universities on the East Coast. And anyway, it's beautiful. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Des, I understand that we have some live pics coming in from Hollywood and from the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, you see the stars right there. The camera's kind of moving around, but they are, I believe, they're efforting, trying to fly right over Dolly's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, where some people have kind of gravitated to since the really, I have to say, somewhat shocking news. We all knew she had health challenges, but it sure seemed like she was getting through them.
Yeah.
Just did an interview with People magazine a couple of weeks ago and was looking forward to the future.
Right. When her sister, we were talking about it before we went to break, when her sister kind of came out and announced that she wasn't maybe doing so well health-wise, Dolly came out and said, stop that right there. Like, I'm going to come out with the video, let you know that I'm okay. And she looked great in the video. Right, but she always did.
Okay.
And we always saw her just, she always looked beautiful, always put together. And she seemed fine in the video, kind of, was trying to ease, I think, the concerns of her fans.
Yeah.
And then, this news. So it is a bit shocking.
Well, her husband, Carl, who was super private, passed just a few years ago. And so, I've heard some commentary this morning saying they're so sad to lose her. People who knew her personally, but they're awfully glad that she has been reunited with the love of her life.
Well, and I'm just doing a quick search here on Google, so I haven't been able... Let's see, because I was trying to see where her star is located as we were seeing the chopper trying to fly around and locate it. Did you know that she has 2 stars?
I believe it.
On the Hollywood,
One's
so
for music.
First star is solo. And I wonder if that's the one they're at. It's located 6712 Hollywood Boulevard. She was inducted on June 14th, 1984 for her individual achievements in the audio recording category. It sits on the same block as stars for Sylvester Stallone and Diana Ross.
Oh, wow.
And then her second star is would be then, I guess, a ways down on Hollywood Boulevard at 7076. It's near La Brea Avenue. She was inducted in 2019. At that time, honored for her collaborative group alongside her collaborators Emmy Lou Harris and Linda.
Oh, Linda Ronstadt from Tucson, our favorite Arizona singer.
For their famous trio albums.
Yeah.
So, wow. How many stars can say they have 2 stars?
I know. Good point, Des.
Cool.
It's interesting as we show you these live pictures now, the crowd gathering out in front of the Egyptian Theater. They're right in the heart of Hollywood and, maybe leave some flowers or paying some respects.
Wow, she was the first woman, they say, in the 21st century to be honored with a second star on the historic walkway.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay, that is really cool. So the reason we talk about the Imagination Library that she started, it's because her dad never learned how to read.
Oh.
And so she just adored her dad, Lee Parton, and said that she just loved him, and he was one of the smartest people she'd ever known. So that was back in the mid-'90s. She started sending free books every month to preschool kids in her home county, and it just grew and grew and grew from there. And her father lived long enough, by the way, to see it growing and told her, of everything you've accomplished, Dolly, That's what I'm the most proud of.
Oh, was her imagination
Yes.
library. Oh
How
my
cool
gosh.
is that?
That just gave me chills. That's so sweet.
One other story. I love the fact that she got concerned that some kids, back in the 90s, that the dropout rate in her home county, which just always stayed with her whole life, she was so grounded, that the dropout rate was over 30%. So she created a program for 7th and 8th graders. They paired up, and Dolly promised each one of those students $500 each if they both kind of took care of each other and made sure they graduated from high school. And she followed up on it, and years later, her impact of doing that, dropout rates dropped from about 30% to 6% in her county. Talk about making a difference, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
And when we look at this, so 31 years of Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. I mean, think about what really lasts that long.
Yeah,
you know, for this to span more than 3 decades. She has been able to gift over 300 million books since its inception.
Goodness.
That's incredible.
Oh, it's so great.
And not just here in the country, 5 countries.
Right.
So all different parts of the world.
Yeah. Well, I went through Pigeon Forge once, and we just didn't have time to go to Dollywood, but it's always kind of been on my bucket list. Kind of across the street and just down the road, Pigeon Forge, there were just so many attractions. Instead, we went for a coaster ride called Goats on a Roof. And this alpine coaster wound around this big old roof with all the goats on top eating they had a grass roof line. And so there were all these goats. I just love this place. I love how kind of fun and friendly and country and you get exactly what you expect to see when you're up there in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, all the way down that whole valley into
She really
Knoxville.
did love Tennessee.
Oh yes,
You know, she could have, when she earned all her money, she could have moved somewhere, moved to L.A. or where all the stars go, and she chose to stay in Tennessee and continue to make that home, and passing away ultimately there in Nashville. I just went on to Imagination Library because Brooke from KNIX, we had talked about it, I think, one morning on the show as well, and Brooke was able to actually get some books gifted from Dolly from the Imagination Library. So I thought that was incredible. But I went on, and I just went on now to double check. It's not available, and it says currently unavailable in your area where we're located in Chandler. But that doesn't mean maybe other parts of the valley aren't on here. Maybe it's your time to go log on and see if you can get a gift from Dolly here.
Yeah, that's so great.
Cool.
Well, there are a couple of other stories. Some of these I think fall right in line with with just the genuineness of people. I love this story, Des. This is the story of the Uber driver who helped the police, right?
He did. Probably not how he thought his night was going to go, but this video that you're seeing here now has gone viral. It's of 2 police officers here. You can see they hop right into that Uber, telling the driver to hit the gas. It started when they were making an arrest, but the suspect broke free.
Okay.
And they needed some help here, Ron.
Right.
So what happens next?
Okay, so the rideshare driver gives the officer a lift. Matter of fact, both officers, you can see right there, front seat, back seat, and then they're hopping out before you know it. Well, the driver just so happened to be an 8-year Iraq War Army veteran, and he says it was his time serving the United States military that kicked in and allowed him to stay so calm in a situation like this. You can see the officers there. They're like pointing over that way, this way. The suspect is still at large, but he was willing to help, and boy, you see that running around going on right there. That's from Houston.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then our next story, this was interesting, maybe changing the landscape a bit for content creators.
Oh, yeah.
And influencers in the state of California. They could soon have some new penalties for influencers who do not disclose that they've been paid to promote political content.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, as we approach, we've got a lot of elections coming up in the midterms. A bill passed this week that would give the state's Fair Political Practices Commission power to directly fine creators rather than waiting months for a court order. So that's interesting there.
Yeah.
And does that kind of lead into our poll question? this morning.
I think actually that's a really good call. New Zealand might be the next country on the planet to ban social media for 16 and under should the U.S. do it. This has been running pretty strongly, yes, all morning long. So this is the QR code. That's our TV version of the poll. This is basically amongst everybody who's watching us because that's how you get the QR code. 80% say, yeah, just too addictive for kids and teens. Almost 10% say no government bans. We're still a free country. And then 11% say whatever happened to personal responsibility for parents and for teens.
Yeah, and then we look on our YouTube poll here. We've got more than 2,000 votes on this topic here. 64% say yes, it's too addictive for kids and teens. 16% say no government bans. We're still a free country. And 20% say, it falls on personal responsibility on the parents and the teens.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so all of that's been happening today. Des, you had a story this morning early on. Maybe we could just squeeze it in. The key to a happy life.
Yeah, let's get the folks some good news as we end the show today.
Yeah, let me see. Let me go to that. I'm going to try to roll 2.2 now, James. You let me know if you see that on the key to the happy life. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at there.
Yeah,
so
I don't know if those gentlemen are the key to your happy life.
They appear to be somewhat happy.
I don't know. They weren't smiling. But
Okay, so over the course of a century's worth of research, they found the number one strongest predictor of living a long, happy, healthy life, like Dolly did, is having quality relationships.
I think that's right on brand.
Right?
It makes a whole lot of sense, right?
You got to love the people you work with, got to love your fam.
Yeah.
And that's how, if you really stop and think about it, that's how you can really be blessed.
Exactly. And they said, the researchers, they ranked wealth, or they looked at wealth, they looked at fame, and they looked at career success, right? So these folks that reached the pinnacle of their career, maybe that's what they dreamed of, and that still was not the key to the happiest life.
Yeah.
It was the people that you're surrounded with, relationships. So pretty incredible.
Well, we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you for spending some time with us, and we'll be back tomorrow, 10 till noon.
Great job, guys.